Speedo Vanquisher 2 Mirrored Goggle Review. Okay, so we're going to dive in real quick and real aggressive, and I'm just going to get it out of the way up front. The Speedo Vanquisher 2 is 100% my favorite goggle that I have ever used, but it's not perfect. That's why we're talking about it today. I will tell you why two Speedo Vanquisher 2s is actually the perfect combination. I do want to say real quick, if you watch at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to actually fit a pair of goggles, and it takes 5 seconds, so stay tuned to the end of that, because no matter how much I say this goggle fits, if it doesn't fit you, it doesn't work. So with that, let's go ahead and just dive right in to the overview. Basically, it's a cheap, basic pair of goggles that works really, really well. This is not your $30 or $40 pair of Rokas, but it's not the $8 plastic no-name brand either. It's a solid, really popular goggle that I see at the pool, and I see a ton of triathletes using all the time, and it's definitely the #1 recommendation I have those times that I've been asked, what pair of goggles should I get? That being said, let's go ahead and just dive right in. Things I like about the Speedo Vanquisher 2. Number 1. It's a very, very comfortable goggle. I've worn this in the pool for an hour and a half, basically straight, without taking it off between sessions. It never hurts my eyes. There's a ton of silicone around the edges. It's double padded, and it just fits my eyes really, really well. So the Vanquisher 2 is an inner eye fit, and what that means is it essentially fits inside your eye cup here, and I think that's a fit that works really, really well for a lot of people. Because there's so much silicone around the front of the lens, so it's padded and it seals water really well, you don't have to ratchet the straps down. And when you don't have to ratchet the straps down, you keep the pressure off your head and off your eyes, and it just leads to a very, very comfortable fit overall. The second thing that I really like about the Vanquisher 2 is the view is really wide. So these are not dedicated triathlon goggles, they're competitive swim goggles. But I've used them in multiple races and I've never at all been let down. The view out of the Speedos is just perfectly adequate. It meets my needs really well. I can always look up, I can always look to the side. In my opinion, that's all you really need. Additional viewing that's over here that you can't see anyway doesn't seem important to me, so it's not something that I award brands like Roka for doing. So I've been using the Speedos in races and I've had no problems with them, and for the vast majority of people, I think the view is excellent. Number 3 thing that I really like about these goggles is they're adjustable. And not only are they adjustable, they actually hold their adjustment really, really well. So there's 2 things you can adjust on it. The strap, obviously, and the nose bridge. It comes with 4 total nose bridge pieces, and it makes a really big difference. So kudos to Speedo for making sure that people can dial in their own fit. And then also, like I said, it holds that fit really, really well. I've had one pair of these for about 2 years, and I've only had to re-tighten the straps 1 time. That's actually more important to me than just the adjustability, because I've had cheaper goggles, you know, in the $10 range or whatever, that they're just as adjustable as the Speedos, but then they come undone, they loosen. The Speedos are adjustable, and then they actually hold that tension. I just want to put goggles on, have the water stay out of my eyes, and live my life, and they let me do that. Point number 4, the goggles are just really, really durable. Like I said, I've had one pair for just about 2 years now, completely useful still. I have no intention of throwing them out anytime soon, and I use them 3 or 4 times a week. To be honest, I treat my goggles pretty much terribly. I just throw them in a bag. I've never put them in a case. You can do something to goggles that's bad. I've probably done it. Few little scratches here and there, but absolutely nothing that says they're going away anytime soon. You're not going to be going through these goggles once a year. And lastly, number 5 is price. The Speedo Vanquisher 2s are about $16, and that's like $5 more than the absolute cheapest, and they work very, very well, and those $10 goggles are terrible. So spend the extra $5 and you get a great goggle. I personally don't think that the $30 or $40 goggles are worth it, but that's just me. And for me, that really comes back to, not that I don't want to spend $30 on goggles, but because if $15 goggles work perfectly fine, why bother? So that is it for things that I like. Let's get into things that I dislike. Number 1, the mirrored ones are too dark. I've used clear ones and I've used mirrored ones. The clear ones are great for the pool, but if you're going to be swimming outside, you're going to want some sun protection. The mirrored ones, in my opinion, just take it a little too far. I have the gray ones, which is probably one of the darker ones, but I don't think they should be quite as dark as they are. In full sun, I still have a little bit of a hard time seeing. I would like to see a little more light, especially if I'm going to be sighting, if I'm doing an open water swim. But it does make for a really comfortable swim. So if you're swimming during training and all you need to see is lane lines and you don't want to see any amount of sun, it's a good option. But for open water swimming, I would probably steer away from the dark gray ones in a race, especially if it's at all cloudy. They're really an open, full sun goggle. Number 2, the straps are a little bit slippery. So obviously I shaved my head, but the straps, especially if your skin's a little bit sweaty or you have oil from sunscreen on, they do have a tendency to rub around a little bit and to slip around. I would like them to be that sort of silicone rubber that actually stays in place. The goggle straps are super durable and they don't self-adjust when I don't want them to, which is good, but I would like them to actually stay in place on my head a little more. Credit where it's due, I've never actually had them slip off. Just a little too much movement for me. I would love it if they would reformulate the silicone so that that doesn't happen. Number 3 thing I don't like about the Vanquisher 2s, they're really hard to adjust. Probably only gonna have to do this one time when you get them, but that one time is really annoying. The nose bridge piece is great, but it feels like you're going to break the goggles when you actually do it. I was certain I was going to break it. So yeah, they're not going to come undone ever, but it's going to be a real hassle to actually do it, and I wouldn't be surprised if people out there have actually broken them trying to adjust it. Be careful when you do it, trust that you're not going to break it, and expect to put quite a bit of force into it. In my experience, they'll take it, so I guess thumbs up. So overall, these are an awesome pair of goggles. And like I said in the beginning, I think the best pair of Speedo Vanquisher 2s is actually 2 pairs of Speedo Vanquisher 2s. Get some clear ones. These are actually really hard to find in the store because people seem to prefer the mirrored ones, but like I said, I find them a bit too dark. If you are doing purely open water outdoor swim in a lot of sun, yeah, these are awesome. And I don't know if I'd be super comfortable using these in a race where it's not full sun. That said, these clear ones provide 0 sun protection or sunshade, so I hate using these outdoors. They're just too bright. You're constantly looking at the sun and it is horrible. Definitely get both, I think, but like I said, they're so cheap, you can get both pairs, a clear one and a tinted one, for about the same price as something like a pair of Rokas. So they're super affordable. Get a couple of them, try out the different tints, and I think you're gonna be really, really well set up for goggles. I did promise you that we would show you how to fit goggles, so let's go ahead and do that right now. We're gonna do this real quick because I promised you it would be fast. All goggles in the store let you open them up, and that's not just so you can play with them. You need to hold them up to your eyes and push them on. And if they stay on without the straps, that means they fit. You'll feel them suction to your face, and if they suction to your face and stay there for about 10 or 15 seconds, you're good. And then you don't actually have to tighten this strap down. It basically just holds them in place. Let me demonstrate. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you have another goggle that you really like, leave a comment down below because there's a ton out there and I haven't tried them all. Maybe there's something even better and maybe I'm missing out. I don't know. Leave it down below. I will buy some and check them out and throw a review up here as well. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Go do some awesome training. Peace.